Which one? Which one? I'm not real sure yet. This was one piece of wood. I got it from my good friend Kerry. He brought it down last, I don't know, May or June, something like that, along with a bunch of other wood. And it was one piece, and I've cut it in half because it was way too deep for one bowl. The top there kind of got me all excited, but it was such a weird shape that I ended up cutting it in half. You can see how it fit together right there. Just a weird shape. But I've trimmed up the top piece a little bit, and I think that's going to be the one we're going to turn today, and we'll save the other one. I believe it's maple. Looks like maple to me. Looks like it's probably figured maple. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop. Howdy, let's take a closer look at it. This piece is about 6.5 by 7 in diameter. I know it's still a weird cut. It's about 4.5 inches thick. This will be the top. You can see the figure in there. Well, over here you can see it. See that wrinkly grain? That indicates some nice figure in the bowl, or piece of wood. Not a bowl yet, is it? There is no bark, of course. I don't know if this is spalting or just discoloration on the outside. It doesn't look like it goes inside anywhere. But that'll be a nice piece, and I think that's the one we're going to turn today. The other one's about 10 by 10 and 3.5 inches thick. Just a nice piece of maple. I think we're going to save this one for another time. I'm going to turn it flat side towards the headstock, so this will be the top and this will be the bottom. So I'm going to find the center of that right there, drill a hole for my woodworm screw, we'll get it mounted up on the lathe and get to turning. There is an interesting crack right here. I think you can probably see it. I don't see it coming out on either side here. I don't see it coming this way. I don't see it coming that way. So it might just be shallow, or it might be that whole piece is going to break off. I don't know. We're going to be turning at 770 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask, and face shield on. Well, where's that crack? It's right here. So far so good. Maybe I'll flatten this bottom off, at least partially. And that crack, I guess, is gone. I think it was here. I don't see it anymore. Got that out of my way. Okay, back to the side, I guess. Almost got it. We got this little bit left here. Not sure what kind of shape I can come up with on this, but look at that. You see those Chatoyance in there? Yeah, you see it. A little bit over here. Oh yeah. Well, right now it looks like a flower pot. I don't think I'm into flower pots. I'm going to take a little bit more off the bottom, I guess. I'll get rid of this and this. course, I'm inclined to leave that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to mark out for a tenon just so I know how big a bottom I have here. Not very. Maybe it should be a recess, I guess. Then I don't have to take the bottom any smaller than it is. Well, we'll come up with something. Maybe I'll round that top over and see what that looks like. I'm not done. That's not exactly rounding it over. I'm trying to decide if I like that at all. Maybe I do. Or maybe just round it all the way over, huh? Well, I don't know. See, this is the problem I have with what we'll call a normal piece of wood. One that doesn't have bark and defects and all that stuff on it. I don't know. I'm not good at design. I like it when the design is already there from nature and all I gotta do is make a hole in it and smooth it out a little bit. That might look good. I don't know. I hear you out there. Round it over, Phil. Leave it, Phil. Round it over. No, leave it. Leave it. Well, how am I supposed to know which one to pick? I am going to go sharpen up, though. What about that? Yeah, you know, I guess different is good maybe. Let me see if I can make another pass here and clean this up a little bit. I am going with that. Very different for me. I'm going to come down here and put in a recess. Now I'm going to use my dovetail tool, put a dovetail on the side here. Okay. I was trying to decide if I should decorate this a little bit somehow. Let me think about that a minute. I might be sorry about this. I've got this set of beading tools. So I'm thinking of putting a bead here and a bead here and a bead here. I'm trying to decide if I'll be sorry about it. Well, if I'm sorry about it, I can just flatten it off and start over. Yeah, I guess that looks okay once it's sanded up a little bit. I just want to make sure they're all round. There's a kind of a knot or something right here that's breaking this one up a little bit, but I think it'll be excusable. Okay, we'll go with that. I'm not sure it's an improvement, but it's different. Time for sanding. I'm going to start the sanding with my 2-inch disc, starting at 150 grit. I may have made a mistake here. I should have sanded this bottom first and then did my beads, but I didn't. So it's a little bit torn up, and I might end up flattening off the top of this as I sand. I probably will. I will most likely redo those after I've done the sanding. I'm going to have the lathe spinning in reverse at 320 RPM, and I'll show you what all that looks like as soon as I get my mask on. That's about it. I'll just work at that up through 400 grit, and I'll bring you back and we'll put some kind of finish on there. See you in a bit. Well, let's see what we get out of this. We're going to have some Chatoyance. You can probably see it right there, huh? Sand it up really smoothly. I know it's different than what I normally do. Sometimes that's good. Oh boy, there's some more Chatoyance. I'm applying shellac-based sanding sealer. This is maple, but I think it must be kind of a soft maple, so it's soaking this up pretty good. So I will likely put on 2 coats of this, and then 2 coats of shellac. I just like to rub it in real good, get it into the pores of the wood. It really helps when you put the shellac on if it's already sealed up, and the shellac can do its marvelous job. And I did recut these grooves. I'm going to have to use a brush here to get the finish all the way in there, I think. So, I've got a little bit of sanding sealer in this little can and my little acid brush. I did think of burning the grooves, turning them black. I can still do that if I decide it needs it. But to be honest, I kind of just like it natural. I mean, the decoration is enough, I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm still trying to decide if I like it at all. It feels good. Kind of tickles your fingers when you run them over these grooves. That tool is very pointed at the end, the deepest part of these grooves, so it's hard to even get this way down in there. I guess I did it. And then I have this top beveled edge here that I did. I wanted it to be curved up here, just slightly, just a curve rather than a straight flat bevel. And that's difficult to sand that and keep it that way rather than letting it flatten out. But I think I succeeded. It kind of looks like it still has a curve to it. All right, well that's the first of 2 coats. Oh yeah, look at that Chatoyance. That's pretty amazing, huh? First of 2 coats and then 2 coats of shellac. I'll bring you back in a bit and we will start working on the inside. See you in a bit. I have the piece turned around with the chuck jaws expanded into the recess. We're going to be turning at 1000 RPM, 5/8" bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. I just want to see what that looks like. I don't think I want to leave the rim that wide. Maybe I do. See, I just don't know about design, but it seems kind of wide to me. I would certainly undercut it. I'd go way over that way towards the outside, below that rim. And I know you can't see the side like I can. From the side it looks pretty good. From the top I'm not so sure. We'll keep it like that for a little while longer. Okay, we need to decide. I just think it's too wide. So now what do you think? See, that looks pretty good. Well, it does to me. Look at that Chatoyance. Oh my gosh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, look at that. Woo! But, back to this. If I undercut it, there won't be much material under this, so I could easily cut off more, I guess. So maybe we'll see what it looks like undercut and more hollowed out. I'm going to switch to this Easy Wood Tools number 2 gooseneck hollower and just come under that rim, maybe go down a little ways. I don't use this much, so I'm figuring it out. Something like that, I guess. Now I have to keep in mind that, of course, the bowl tapers down, so I got a lot of room right here. I still have an inch right now, but down here it starts tapering in, so I don't want to get too close down further. I still don't know about the thickness here. It's looking better to me, so maybe we're okay. It's requiring quite a bit of effort. I don't know that I've used this enough to ever having turned the cutter around. I'm pushing pretty hard to get it to cut, and that's maybe not normal. Maybe I'm gonna loosen that screw, turn the cutter, and I'll be back. Well, I did that, but I'm going to use a 1/2 inch gouge and go a little deeper so I can get a better idea where I'm going sideways here. I could even do what I've been doing with this somewhat. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. You have to get the tool rest back enough so that you're resting on this flat part, not on this little gooseneck. See how we're doing here. I still got room. Yeah, okay. Now, do we like the thickness of that rim? I think I do. This still isn't cutting very clean, and I'm still applying a lot of pressure, so I must have already rotated this cutter, so I'm going to put a new one on here. Well, or maybe I don't even need it. Maybe I've gone far enough. Well, except it's done such a crummy job. See how rough that cut is? Yeah, I'm gonna put a new cutter on. I'll be back. Mostly I'm just trying to get a cleaner cut, and that didn't help much. See how rough that is? It is what it is. I'm going to go back to my 1/2 inch gouge. They're doing pretty good. I don't know about at the bottom. Well, I can't get it in there with that middle there. I guess we got a long ways to go. Well, let's see what we got. Yeah, that gouge makes a much better cut, I can tell you that. I'm gonna get rid of the middle. Well, we got a ways to go on the bottom. See how my sidewall is doing now. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We better see how we're doing here. We're good. Still have about a ½ inch to go. Just about there. Maybe I better check over here. No, we're good there too. Alright, I'm going to call it good. And my cuts are pretty good down there with the gouge, but up here, pretty rough. But that's why they make sandpaper. Okay, time for sanding. I know there's chatoyance inside here, but because it can't reflect the light directly, I guess, I'm not sure it's going to show up now. Hopefully it'll show up in the end when I'm holding it and showing it to you. It might show up, I don't know. Oh well, yeah, maybe, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Pretty nice. Yeah, look at that, my gosh. Even better than the outside maybe. And I wasn't so sure that was going to be the case. Amazing. Well, there you have it. Be the same routine as the outside. 2 coats of this, 2 coats of shellac. I'll bring you back here in a little bit and we will take a good look at it sitting upright. And I have a great use for this particular bowl. See you in a bit. Be sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can see the before and after shots of this piece. If you'd share the video, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, here it is. One jelly bean bowl in the books. Yeah, I think it's perfect for jelly beans. Now the lights, well, there's some. The light's not really picking up the chatoyance. It will on the turntable, but it's there, believe me. There's the bottom all finished up. Do you like that little decoration I put on there? Or you think it's too much? Kind of silly. I like it. Something different, something I don't get to do. I don't like to do that kind of thing on my natural pieces because, you know, they have so much to say for themselves. They don't need any additional decoration, and this doesn't either. I mean, it's beautiful wood, but at least I had the opportunity, so I took it. So why is it a jelly bean bowl? Well, I don't even eat jelly beans, but ever since I thought of that, I'm craving them now. But because you can just reach your hand in there, and when you pull up, that lip just fills your hand right up. And the jelly beans don't spill over the edge, they just go right back in, whatever doesn't end up in your hand. It's just cool for that. Or I suppose any small candy would work, but jelly beans just sound good to me right now. I don't know why. What about the overall shape? You love it or hate it? It's okay. You can hate it. You can love it. Either way, whatever Whatever suits your fancy works for me. It was fun to do just because it's different and because the wood is so beautiful. I wish I could get that chatoyance to show up, but I just can't. It needs that direct light. Oh yeah, okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. Sure hope you like it. It was a lot of fun to do. Thank you, Kerry, for bringing this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please. I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. I also appreciate that you took some of your time to spend with me today. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your comments. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.